What's going on, everybody? Alright, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about the new Triumph Tiger, or the Tiger Sport 800, which Triumph finally did it. I mean, I've been waiting for that bike forever, and it's mainly the main reasons that I want that bike. It's not even because there's anything wrong with my MT09. It's just I mean, I love this bike. I put over 5,000 miles on it, and it's just an amazing bike. But I would like a couple other things on a motorcycle that will make it easier for me to commute, and also for longer trips, that this bike doesn't have. And I feel like that bike has everything that I would need. I don't think there's any other motorcycle in the market right now that I would trade this bike in for. I looked into the Tiger 900 for the specific reasons that I'll talk about on this video. And number one being a little bit more wind protection. So I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and it gets pretty cold here. It gets pretty cold, so during winter to commute on a motorcycle, it's not fun. I gotta wear too many clothes, and it's not ideal. Right, so having a little bit more wind protection would be really nice. That's one of them, wind protection. And with this windscreen, it helps a lot, but it would be nice to have some heated grips, a handguard, which I could do on this bike. And I could potentially, I mean, if it was just about the cold, this bike could probably do it for me. If I put the money into buying a couple of things to make it more comfortable for the cold weather. But that's not all right? So that's why I haven't put the money into making it more cold weather ready. Okay, so another thing that I have trouble with, and it's not that this bike is uncomfortable, it's just that I have a bad left knee. So whenever I go on long rides, if I go on a day ride with a friend, let's say like on a Saturday, sometimes we'll just take off in the morning and come back in the middle or late afternoon and ride for a few hours. My left knee, because of the sitting position on this bike, which is pretty upright, but my left knee, it starts hurting after about an hour sitting on this bike shifting gears. My left knee starts hurting. My right knee feels fine because I'm not shifting gears, so it's mainly just a bad knee. And if the foot pegs were a little bit more forward, which I think they are on the new Tiger, it would make it for a more comfortable ride. So that's number two. Cruise control, which I don't have on this bike. I wish I had bought the SP version, because whenever going on longer trips, it sucks, man, really. I mean, of course you can't do it without it. I've done many long trips on this bike without cruise control, but it would be nice to, you know, be able to, for a couple of seconds, just do this with your right hand, you know. Just take your hand off the throttle for a little bit, and then just chill so it doesn't get numb. It's not like the worst thing ever, but it would be super nice to have. and that bike comes with a cruise control standard. Let's see what else. So these are mainly the main things that I want is just for a little bit more comfortable ride to make my life easier, right? Because this bike, the MT09, it has a nice seating position. It has enough power. It has a lot of power, more than enough actually. I mean, what I love about this bike, one of the main things that I love about this bike is the power and the power delivery. It has a lot of power and it's very linear. So all the way from like 0 to 100 miles per hour, you get the same amount of power. So basically, like if you're doing 100 miles per hour and you hit the throttle, you will go, right? So that's what I love about this bike. It's the amount of power that it has. So passing power is not a problem. And that's kind of actually another reason too, because I looked into the Tiger 660, but it was lacking cruise control. And it might not, I saw a couple of people saying that it's not very comfortable when it's windy, because it's a smaller bike. So you feel it a little bit on the highway. And I feel like that bike, it's not that 660 is not enough power. I feel like it is enough power. But I feel like after 80 miles per hour, which on the highways here, it's very common for people to drive at 80, 85 miles per hour. I feel like the power delivery on that bike would die down a little bit, just like it did on my MT07. And you have to really ring it for you to get that power delivery for you to pass the cars, right? It's not that it doesn't have power, it does, you just gotta ride it harder. And I prefer to just have a smoother acceleration, like something that you don't have to, that it's basically linear, the same at any speeds that you're in on the road, right? Instead of having to just go like balls to the wall on the throttle to be able to pass the car at 80 miles per hour. So that's one of the reasons, the power that was lacking. I did look into the Tiger 900, and I was very close to buying that bike, but it's a lot more expensive than the Tiger 800. And I was waiting to see if Tiger would actually release the 660 of the Tiger Rally instead of, but they actually came out with the Tiger 800 Sport, which to me is actually even better because it has that extra power. It has over 100 horsepower. So yeah, I was actually waiting to see if they would come up with a Tiger 600 Sport, because I also don't want a bike that's too big for me to commute. So I want something that will still be a little bit more manageable. And yeah, I mean, I feel like that bike has everything that I would need on a motorcycle. Not that it's better than the MT09, it just has the things that I'm missing on this bike that would make it more comfortable for me to commute and just to my general like experience riding, you know. But I mean, in general, I love this bike. If the Tracer 9, I don't know, I like the Tracer 9 GT looks, but it kind of feels a bit too much like a spaceship bike, you know, not like a, like if they made this MT09 on the same size with a more, with almost the Tracer 9 body, I don't know what I would have done different on that bike to make it look a little bit better, or like to make it not seem like a spaceship. But, and it's also way more expensive than a Tiger 800, right? I didn't know the Tiger 800 was gonna come out, but I checked the price. It's like $12,000 compared to like 16 on the Tracer 9. So yeah, I mean, I would take that bike over the Tracer 9 any day. So that's basically it, guys. I mean, just nothing wrong with the MT09. I love this bike. Just for my needs, like right now, it's pretty damn cold. And it's windy, so it would be nice to have something that's not as open to the to the weather like this bike. So I would add some hand guards, heated grips on that bike, which I could do on this bike too, but for the other things that I need, like for long distance trips, this bike doesn't have. And there's no way that I can make that better. So yeah, I'll probably be buying that bike. I'm not sure when they're going to be available in the dealers, but probably early next year, between, I don't know, March and April, if they are already at the dealers. So let me know what you guys think. Does that look like a bike that you guys would ride? I mean, it's over 100 horsepower, guys. It has enough power, so don't say 800 is too small. It's not. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.